Does anybody know how to love? I'm asking. A real question. Because I'm out here all alone in this world. And I don't see it. Maybe because my mask's on. It's just depressing. I ain't seen the classroom in a while. But it seems like every day is a motherfucking lesson. Expect me to swallow my pride and try to convince me that life is a motherfucking blessing. These pains are real. These stains are real. All the things I done seen in my brain for real. So that's no sleep. What's justice? Fuck peace. That ain't never put a nigga on top. So while we on the clock, we gonna fuck bitches, get money, and I'ma show love even to those who ain't got love for me. Live it. Don't run from your truth. Live it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
welcome to Kill Talk Radio, another source for sex and sexuality. Hosted by Livid the Dreamcatcher, formerly known as Humphrey Bonehard, and special guests. Live from a living area in small big town Connecticut. Don't just do it, kill it. Kill Talk Radio.
Yes, I love that. Probably go a long time ago.
Here we got the son's birthday party this afternoon, and we got to drink it early.
Oh, y'all are litty on the
yeah. We going to the pool, so it's almost like a kind of chill thing
it's
too.
Gonna really hit you when you get in that sun, boy. That shit gonna start coming out. Y'all gonna have a good time.
Outdoor pool or indoor pool?
I'm smoking and then I'm chilling, huh?
It's an indoor or outdoor pool at the hotel.
Outdoor.
Okay.
Outdoor pool.
All right, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Ready?
All right. Good day, people. We are back again with another episode of Sex, Love, and Hip Hop, The Conversation. Today's a good day. To my right, back from vacation, I got the great Jamie Sage. My brother, the Deuce, he's on vacation this week, working, so I want to shout out to him. We got some special guests today. I am very excited about this conversation because it's something that I stand very strong about, firm about in my beliefs, and this is something that I want to share with my community, the background of people that I'm familiar with, and I want also on a larger scale to educate and entertain others about this topic of discussion. True. All right, so to my right, I have the creators of the online chat community, the adult community, lifestyle community of Thick City. Well, hold on. I know it as Thick City, but I've just been informed or educated myself.
Got sophisticated.
A minute ago that there's something became official recently, so I want to congratulate y'all. So, what exactly is the business of yours? What is it? What's it called? What's the name of it?
Thank you for having us this afternoon. It's basically Thick City.
Thick City Enterprise. It's a lifestyle network.
Thick City Enterprise, the lifestyle network.
Yeah.
On paper.
On paper.
The state recognizes this.
Absolutely.
We are official
Federal
in the
government.
business. You know what I'm saying? So for people that think that this whole lifestyle thing is just a hobby for some people or a recreational thing, this is serious business.
Serious business.
It's a real life situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Y'all are married. Y'all are recently married, newlyweds, right?
Yeah. As of
Congratulations.
April. Thank you. Yeah.
What's that feel like?
Well, this is my second.
What kind of answers that? Well,
I just had to let people know. I was gonna say
Hold on. It's wonderful. Thank you.
it is wonderful. It is wonderful. It's beautiful.
That's great. That's great news. That's great news. So y'all are in it for the long haul.
Absolutely, to death do us part. That's what we signed up for. So
that's what I'm talking about.
Great.
As swingers.
yes.
as swingers, yeah. I mean, we met kind of like how we met was I invited her. We was on. I don't know if we can say certain sites on here.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay, we were on FetLife.
Okay.
And
I had just learned the Fat Life. I knew nothing about the lifestyle, nothing about anything. I was curious, and a friend told me about it. So I went on, I found his party, and so I hit him up like, hey, what's this about? Only person that I had messaged from there. We had a really good conversation. He explained to me about the lifestyle, explained to me safety stuff, was very respectful.
So as
very
soon as she
patient. We had
signed
a
up,
personal-
I was the first
Yeah,
person
we had
that
a,
she
we had a
contacted.
personal conversation for like, I
Sounds
don't know,
like
it must have been like 40, 45 minutes. You know, he was real, answered all my questions, whatever, gave me the information about event that he
Educating her,
was-
just
yeah.
like I do, like
Right.
we do all the new people that come in.
right.
Because they don't know what to expect. So, a short little conversation to introduce myself and to introduce, what
What
we're
this is.
presenting. Yeah,
What
yeah,
you're
Right.
doing. But you
Well,
got
that
a filter on your FetLife page. How is he the first person that you messaged? How'd that
I
happen?
think it's because of party I posted, right?
Yeah.
It was a party that
It was,
I
an event,
posted.
it was an event, and it was maybe 40 minutes from where I was living at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were searching. Somebody told you about
Somebody
this
told
is
me
the
about
website.
that life, and I was like curious. I didn't know anything about it. I had been in 2 long-term monogamous relationships.
The FetLife is like an alternative
Yeah.
lifestyle, like website
Right.
for all different types of kinks and things
Right.
like that.
Right.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
brother put me onto it a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I was curious about some things, and
She saw my party posted.
yeah,
And
and so
found-
we had a good conversation. He explained to me a lot of the culture of it, some safety things for women.
So
But you know what? She never came to my party. She did all that, and she never came to the party. She actually went to somebody else's party that night. Well, no, the night I had my party,
Yeah.
she went to somebody else's party. But
so the mystery had you intrigued. You was like, what happened to this girl? Why the hell she ain't come to my party? So you-
yeah.
Well, we
Basically,
stayed in contact.
You
He
hit
followed,
us
he
back.
had
Contact,
followed
yeah,
up with
yeah,
me. Like,
yeah, yeah.
he was willing to, like, at the time, I couldn't drive in Connecticut because I had some tickets or something. And I was like, well, I don't know.
yeah, that's right.
Coming
I
to
forgot that.
Connecticut. And he was like, well, I'll come get you
I'll come
and I'll
get
bring
you.
you back and I'll make sure that you're safe. And I'm like,
That sounds like a good party host.
you're right.
Hey, man.
So,
That's because we needed her at the party. You see how she looked. I wanted her at the
I
party.
know
so.
that's right. And ever since then, match made in heaven.
Well, no. Actually, that turned into almost like a friendship.
Okay.
For about 6 months.
Yeah, because I was in a different relationship. You know what I'm saying? I was inviting her to the party, but I was in a different relationship.
it was platonic.
Yeah.
a long time.
So it was just kind of like staying friends. She was kind of like in certain chat groups.
No, I wasn't. I only went into your chat.
Well, you
group.
were in our
and
chat.
I didn't
Oh,
like it.
our chat.
And I didn't like
our
it, so I
chat.
left. And I didn't know. I never knew anything about Kick
Comes
or
out.
anything like that. And it was like all these notifications, and it was moving so fast. And I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
I ended up leaving, but we stayed friends. Like he checked
We
in
stayed
on
friends,
me, and it was
and
platonic. And then
then
we
we
had
got
some things
together.
in between. We sent some videos back.
So
and
we
forth.
both were. Well, she was on the fringes of the lifestyle. I was already in the lifestyle.
Right.
So that's kind of how we came together.
He had a lot of experience, and I was just
Yeah.
curious. I didn't,
It wasn't just just making a new, like bringing her brand new into the lifestyle.
Right.
Because she was on the fringes, it was kind of easier to kind of say, not kind of explain it, but kind of like lead her into that direction.
Right.
Because she already knew it and she was, curious about it.
Like
So it
a
was kinda easy.
teacher-student relationship. That's dope. though.
Yeah.
At
In
the
a way,
beginning.
yeah.
That's
In
a
a way,
good- that's a
yeah,
good
in a
way.
way,
That's a
yeah.
great way to be introduced. Especially, I've noticed a lot of people like. There's a lot of couples that want to experiment with the lifestyle, but they don't have the experience.
Exactly.
So they're both going into it blindly. I'd much rather prefer to be, side by side with someone that has some experience. I feel like that'd be a lot.
Or
transition
that
to-
same situation, what they should be doing is they should get with another couple that's experienced. You know what I'm saying? Say, they
Ask
may
some
not know where to
questions,
meet
some
those
drinks,
people,
right.
but a lot of these chat groups, you can meet another couple and say, hey, we're not experienced, but we would like to, know the ropes. Hey, can you bring us out to where you go? You know what I mean?
Right.
So
and we spent a lot of time doing that.
yeah.
And on that note, I was just going
Educating
to say,
people.
you
I mean,
guys
I've
kind
driven,
of
I've
do
driven
that
out.
now,
We've
right?
driven out and met with people and sat down with people, had drinks with people to
Yeah.
answer questions and explain kind of what.
Yeah, we
it
have like
is.
meet and greets.
Yeah.
Well, we were having meet and greets.
We were having meet and greets,
Right.
but we also met people personally.
Yeah, we met people
know,
personally. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
gone
This
out
is
and-
after y'all got together.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. This is after
Yeah.
we established
This
the
is
meet and
after
greet.
y'all
Yeah.
did
This,
everything.
yeah.
Okay.
So I've gone out and met with women by myself just to explain to them, answer some questions, what it is, explain to them some safety things with it,
Yeah.
So y'all are, so you created a business behind it. Is that something that is that the long term goal? Like you're currently professionals in other areas, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So do y'all plan on stepping away from those and then full time business within the lifestyle, like sex business? Or is that just something that y'all enjoy doing on the side and decide to monetize?
We're open to possibilities of it.
Yeah.
I mean, we both have established careers. I'll probably always have some connection to what I do as a psychotherapist, but integrating the two is very possible.
Right.
And especially if we were doing, some bigger things and expanding, what that could look like and kind of people's narrative perception of what the lifestyle is. It's much more than just orgy parties or,
Right.
hookups or swap or whatever. It's more than that.
And she can do that. As far as what your question was, she can do that because of her background and kind of what she may want to get into. So she can, like she said, she can kind of integrate. And me, I would have to. It's either or.
Right.
So I would have to keep it part time. You know what I'm saying? Until something really blows up. So I'd be like, babe, we are quitting. Yeah.
Or dive off the deep end.
Yeah.
That's how I live my life. I'm ready to dive off the deep end. All right, so let's get into these questions because there's a lot that I want to know. I'm sure. I know you got some questions. You know what I'm saying? So, and the people, I definitely want to educate them. All right, so are y'all ready?
Ready.
Drum roll, please. This is what we are here for. Not that one mask. All right, so what is the definition of a swinger? From people who are do you consider yourself a swinger first and foremost? Is that what it is?
A swinger is, to me, is almost like an older term. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think a lot of people like to use the word lifestyle now because I guess a swinger.
I think lifestyle is more inclusive.
Lifestyle is more inclusive, but swinger is
It's a broader umbrella.
Yeah, broader umbrella. A swinger to a lot of people is two couples. Swapping, as they used to call it, wife swap, husband swap, key swap, or whatever the case is. That would be.
We often have people
sharing your partner
We
with
often
others.
have people who will ask, "Well, this is a swingers group, or this is a lifestyle group. I'm a single person. Am I allowed to join?" Because I think a lot of times the perception is it's just couples with other couples.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's a lot of variations.
There's a lot of variations, so that's why the swinger, quote unquote, word itself is it should probably be under.
Well, I guess it's one
under lifestyle because it's a certain thing. I guess it's basically swinging is just being like recreational. You know what I mean? Just being kind of like
as opposed to people who are doing like polyamory, right? They're having multiple relationships. Swinging, we're around like-minded people. Like you keep it light. It's about that open sexuality in that environment. It's more limited to like my husband and I will go and we're open to having sexual experiences, either together in front of other people, viewing other people, involving other people, kind of whatever it is, whatever it ends up being, we're open to that.
Okay.
And that's something that we do
So
together.
that's why we don't really necessarily like to say swingers now, because then that means like a couple with another couple, where we have different variations where
It's all
we
about
may
the vibe,
include
though,
we may include another woman, or another man, where it's not necessarily a couple. So that goes out of the realm of swingers more into open relationship. You know what I mean? So
that's not the same though.
no, it's not the same, but it's a thin line.
That's the next question.
It's a
I have.
thin line. It's a thin line.
You
That's
can
a thin line.
be swinging or be in the lifestyle and be a single person, I guess is what we're kind of trying to say.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
I was gonna ask that.
that can.
But
I think the word choice.
That's what it is, the
gets
word choice.
sticky,
Yeah.
Right, because people think swinging and they think like like
couples,
you said, couple swaps.
Because then if you
can
bring
be
a
a
single
single
male
swinger.
into it, then you'd be like, how is he swinging?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Well, that's not really. We're going to put him as being in the lifestyle because he's not, quote unquote, part of a couple that's going to swap. You know what I mean? He's being probably. He's going to join another couple. You know what I mean? And again, it's a thin line between swinging and open relationships. So that's where The act. I'm just gonna say it right
Some-
now.
some
We're
people
gonna get.
who-
Hold on. We're gonna get to that question.
Some people,
Okay,
some
okay.
people who swing are in open
Are not in
relationships,
open-
and
and
people
some
who are in open relationships
are
don't
not
swing.
swinging.
Yes,
Right.
it's
Right.
the act or the activity
Okay.
to me.
It's the sex.
Okay.
It's more around the sex.
The
It's not about,
sexuality versus
we
the
have
love.
friendships with people, but we're not in an open relationship that we have like actual
Emotions.
relationships with people.
Or emotions,
Right.
You know what I
where
mean? Like,
emotions come into it. So
we
that's
don't
why
we don't have other partners. We may have friends that we'll play with.
Right.
We'll have
But you don't
sexual
have.
play
You
with.
don't have a
But-
side boy.
but we not-
There's like
Right,
emotions.
but-
boyfriend.
No,
but
it's
it's
not
not
like
like-
she's going to see Derek and she's been seeing Derek
and-
because Derek is a co-worker.
We
and
don't
she's
have
been,
no boyfriends,
nah.
no girlfriends.
Right.
But
What
we
side
have
chicks
we're
is
open
what
to
you got?
having
Yeah.
sexual experiences together that we're enjoying together.
Yeah.
So for me, because I consider myself, whether I'm in a relationship or not, I consider myself a swinger. So when I'm single, I'm a single swinger.
Yeah.
When I'm
Yeah.
in a relationship,
Yeah.
I'm still a swinger because I'm looking at what.
In the
The
same way
act
that
is
somebody
what I'm
can
doing.
be, in the same way that somebody can be poly or single poly, right?
Right. The idea
Right.
is it's the way you're living your lifestyle. You might not
The
be
act.
Yeah, you might not be active in the activity at the time.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
that's
yeah.
still like I can
That's your
be a
lifestyle.
vegan. Yeah, it's the lifestyle.
It's also
idea.
it's the
That's
belief
what you
system that
choose.
goes with it too, right?
There's a belief system that goes
Right,
with, okay.
because for people who are poly, there's this belief of you can love more than one person at a time. You know, my loving my husband has nothing to do with me loving Miss Stage over here. Do you know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, those are two different relationships. They're not mutually exclusive. Like, it's not, one doesn't have, just because I love Miss Stage doesn't mean that I don't love my husband.
That
Do you know
point.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
So in the same way that swinging on the other end of that is just because I have a sexual experience with Miss Stage over here and I have a sexual experience with my husband, like it's not this one over the other. It's not like anything changes in my marriage when I get home at the end of the day and the
Right.
things that we do and we pay bills and raise kids and all that, right? Like,
yeah.
But we're open to exploring and kind of expanding and enjoying our sexualities together.
So when you guys
know.
explain it to other people, do you label yourselves at all? What do you tell people you are? Like you just say, I'm in the lifestyle.
Yeah, we
You don't say
we don't
we're
tell
swingers.
You know what?
or
I
this-
say I guess we use swingers. We use swingers because that's kind of like the
term that people
Often-
know.
term that people use.
Often
But then
people
we
want to know what
but-
your boundaries are, and so
Yeah, I guess when what we would say is we would say, yeah, we're swingers, but because we're in that community, people already know that, because basically we're probably meeting on a website, so we probably won't say swingers, but we will say something
We're in the
like full
lifestyle.
swap
We're
or
full
something
swap,
like that.
yeah.
So it kind of, it kind of details what we're into. Where
what
we're
you're
into
open to.
swapping, where your wife with me and my wife with your husband, where we're actually swapping. Now it
Like,
can get more
all
detailed
together.
than that. It can be in-room swapping, out-of-room swapping. So
And there's some couples who only play together, there's some couples who will play separate. There's different rules for different people, and that's the other thing too, is that so you can say I'm in the lifestyle, but in terms of what you're willing to do, what your boundaries are, what your interests are, what your kinks are, what your agreement is with your partner, those things vary.
yeah.
Yeah.
And those things they change over time. You know what I mean? It's a constant communication and conversation with your partner. It's a constant learning experience for yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
In terms of
It's
what
not
your
just free
what your
range.
kid-
You
Right,
just walk in,
yeah,
you
what
walk in
your-
the lifestyle, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm about to do everything
Right.
with everybody.
Right.
and
For
and
all.
some people choose to live the lifestyle like that at different points in time, and other it kind of depends on where you're at and who you're with and what the vibe is, right?
You got to find out what people are
What you-
about. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just walking up in there and thinking that you're just going to fuck everybody or
Right.
everybody wants to fuck you. There's people who want different things. You know what I mean? So
Right.
one couple may want to swap. One couple may just want a female or a male. So it's up to the person to kind of talk and discuss and communicate with the other person. Hey, what are you guys into? That's a big question
No.
when couples or singles talk to one another, communicate is what are you into?
What are you
Because
into? That's the
now you
first
start
question.
finding out if you're compatible. What are you into? Well, if a single man is asking us that, well, we're into full swap. We're possibly into adding a third male or female. So he knows that, okay, this is something that I could possibly work with.
Right.
And what's our-
Compared to if
Yeah.
you talk to someone who is a single male who doesn't want to have any involvement with another male. So he asks us, hey, what you guys are into? We're into full swapping. Or we're into maybe involving another male.
Well, I think it depends on the
ask
situation.
he may ask
Right.
well I'm looking for a cuckold situation where you allow me to have sex with your wife and you watch.
Right.
And I'm going to say not at all. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not with that. But that is a variation, or that is a different dynamic of the lifestyle.
But that is a sexual fetish. You know,
Oh, yeah,
it's
yeah,
not-
it is.
it's
A
not
lot of
exclusive
people-
to the lifestyle, but
No, not exclusive to
and-
not exclusive to the lifestyle, but is I also think that's part of one of the things that's a sub tier of an open relationship.
it's cuckolding.
It's cuckold because
It's interesting.
Yeah, because it's a consent between two adults that's in that relationship to or cuckoldress. I don't know if that's the other word. It's a
Something like
yeah,
that.
it's something like that, but the other way around. But it's just the agreement or the consent between the two people. Hey, you know what? I want to go out to meet other people. Will you allow me to do that?
Right.
You know, and as you know that there are people who will allow that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Or we
There are
wanna
people
go
who
out to that together.
fantasize about their woman
being with
being
somebody else.
pleased. You know what I mean? And it's not always because of the lack of. You know what I'm saying? Like I would allow my wife to have sex with another man that she finds interesting because I want to make her happy. You know what I mean? And it's a long way. It's a lot of thinking. It's a lot that has to go into that. You know what I'm saying? You just don't wake up and be like, I'm going to share my
what I'm
wife.
gonna do, right.
It's a process. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? But
Takes
I guess
time.
what I'm saying is that there are people out here that like to do that, and it's not just because they got a little dick or whatever the case is.
Right.
They may have a big dick, and he just likes to please his wife. You know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes people look at that as like, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? People may ask me, like, or may think, like, what's wrong with this dude? Why is he letting me, have sex with his wife? Well, I'm not letting you have sex with my wife. I'm letting my wife have sex with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
There's a big difference.
It's a big difference. So
Like
it's
we're in control of this.
Right.
We're in control of ourselves.
This is
Exactly.
us. Anything else is just an enhancement or an addition of
Yeah.
like the relationship that we already have.
Right. We're
It's
thinking
never
about it.
something that's filling a gap or void or taken away from it. It's an enhancement. It's something we enjoy together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we
Teamwork
explore
makes the
together.
dream work.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Teamwork makes the dream work. So y'all had so there is a difference between an open relationship and swinging.
Yes.
Very clearly.
Yes. To me, it's
I
like I
believe
said,
so.
the act.
Well, there's the separateness and the togetherness. So like for us, we
We
No,
are
we
in
don't
we
play
are in a
separately.
kind of open relationship.
No, we're
but,
not.
Yeah, okay. But let me explain.
The
But-
session
No.
starts.
We kind of are in an open relationship physically, not emotionally. To where? Listen, an open relationship is where
Right.
where two people that's in a relationship consent to someone having a physical relationship with somebody else.
But it's
think it's different.
not a separate
I think it's
physical
different.
relationship.
That's how-
So
yeah,
so
yeah.
here's the thing
Okay.
for us
That's how I feel,
personally.
too.
All right, so for us personally, this does not mean everybody in the lifestyle because there are couples in the lifestyle who are okay with, okay, honey, I see you later. I'm going with Jose for the weekend, right?
Right.
Like that's different.
But that's
We
more
don't-
emotional, though.
we don't-
But I
we
would feel
don't
that's
do
more
that.
emotional than physical.
Right,
agree with that, too.
But having
Because
a
if you can
relationship
spend-
means
if-
you can have other relationships. We don't have other relationships.
relationships,
We
you
have
just have-
friendships,
right.
but we have experiences together.
Because it's physical, right?
We're just a couple who will play together
Because
with other
in
people.
physical.
Physical.
That's
Right.
the
So
whole
we're-
thing about.
We're
That's
open
what
to
I'm.
that, but it's not an open relationship.
Yeah, that's how I
So
feel
when we're
too.
getting technical on
Okay,
terms,
I
it's
feel-
not an open relationship.
Right.
I'm sorry.
When you know what I'm saying? Like
I'm sorry.
No, that's exactly how I feel. I feel the difference between swinging and open relationship is just that.
Right.
Swinging, we're
'Cause
a
we're a team,
couple.
like, we're
we're
one.
doing what we do together.
Yeah, together.
Open relationship, I feel that's two
you
people
going and doing your own thing at times.
doing their own thing. That's like
Right.
having a girlfriend and having a side chick.
Yeah.
Or having a boyfriend and having a side nigga.
But
That would be open relationship,
Some
and they
people
all
do-
know about each
right.
other. You know
Some
what I'm saying?
people-
That's open.
That's more on the polyamory side of things.
Right.
So this is
Some-
where the conversation comes in, where polyamory and swinging is different.
Right. Absolutely.
They're not necessarily
Oh, yeah.
the same thing. Now you may be polyamorous and y'all swing together, right?
Right.
And y'all meet y'all may start off swinging together and decide, okay, we're gonna, move into doing more polyamory and like an open relationship type of thing. The lifestyle and, swinging and whatnot, like these alternative kind of, sexual experiences, like
Right.
they're different for
They are
different
different.
people.
Right.
When you're talking about us personally, no, we're not in an open marriage.
That part.
However,
That's how I feel.
However-
my marriage won't be open. but we're gonna be swinging.
we swing together.
Like my marriage ain't gonna be open, but we're gonna be swinging.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're not
So
about
we're
to
a
be.
team.
You're not
It's
going
about-
away with
true,
Jose
that's
for
true.
the weekend.
No, that's
not
true.
happening.
No. But then again, that goes back to the
You know what I'm
emotional
saying?
part of it, because if you can, this is my thing, and this is the reason why I said emotional, is it has to be emotional if you are going to spend a whole weekend with somebody, because once the sex is over with, now you're
doing
cuddling,
other stuff,
you're
right.
doing other shit, you're going places. Now that kind of gets into a realm of where it's like almost like
That's more an open relationship or a polyamory type of
Right.
situation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I-
That's not personally what we do. We have many friends who do that, and we have many friends, like I said, who do that and swing.
Right. Yeah, I can't
So-
do it. I
No.
don't have the energy to love more than one person at a time. Can't do it. You know,
no,
Am I
no, I don't
am
want
enough
to.
work by
Yeah,
myself?
yeah.
Oh my
You
god,
know what I'm saying?
I can't have two women not getting ready on time.
That part is just way too much work. One is more than enough. You know what I'm saying?
No, it,
I mean,
it is.
but I think part of the allure for me too is being able to have. We have a regular life. We're a married couple. We have a household. We have children. We go to work. We have professional jobs. We do everything that the vanilla world does, kind of on a daily basis. And we have this other lifestyle.
That part.
We have this other,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
excitement and adventure
You know what I'm saying?
together.
Batman and Catwoman.
Exactly.
Where
That leads us right into the next question.
we
That's
have the
perfect.
excitement.
Perfect.
You know?
So, there are benefits to swinging.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely,
What are
absolutely.
tell us what some of the talk to Jamie specifically.
All
Tell
right.
her what some of the benefits
All
of
right,
swinging
Miss
are.
Sage. Without
Let's do it.
scaring you, we'll start with the good stuff.
doesn't scare you.
We'll start with the positive stuff.
right.
The
He said
benefits.
benefits.
Right.
No, I'm saying. Well, I could have said it. Because I was scared if I'd be like, I can fuck all the women I want, but that'd be scaring her. No, what I'm
Okay.
saying, I guess what I wanted to start off by saying is the benefits is, I guess the benefits is being
pussy.
able to be open.
Get more pussy.
We're not trying to scare her. We're not trying to scare her. No.
She might like pussy, so she gets more pussy.
No,
too.
you're right. No, you're
know
right.
what
You're
I'm
right. It's the fact of
The
being
variation.
the fact
Okay.
of being open, because in a monogamous relationship, you come home, you
There's the monotony.
yeah, you come home, you're doing the same routine. You may have thoughts. You may even go on your phone real quick and do like a little search of porn. You be like, oh yeah, I like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you even may can talk to porn about to your wife or whatever the case is. But it's a different story when you can be like, like when we were out at the, we went to a local bar 2 days ago.
Uh-oh.
And,
See what
No. It was just like,
I want to hear that
no,
story.
it's cool. We went to a local bar and
Seen something you liked.
And no,
I
the
see
wife
something
saw
I
something you like. And no, this is the thing about it. I was beefing with the manager. Like when we got up in there, we got to this bar, and he was
owner.
supposed to be just no sneakers, right?
Okay.
So I went up there. I was like, yo, I already kind of knew the dress code, but I thought the summertime would kind of like relax everything. But he was like, no, we can't have sneakers and everything like that. So I went all the way home. Now that's on. I know if you know the area. That's on Weathersfield Avenue. So I went all the way back home on Farmington Avenue area, changed my shoes, and came back. You know what I'm saying? It only took about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So I got back, only to find out when we went in there, everybody had on fucking sneakers. So I asked to speak to the manager.
We almost left.
Yeah, we was like,
man.
let's go to Wendy's down the street.
Because
You
my
know what I'm
husband
saying?
was like, my husband told the manager, well, we can go to Wendy's. I'm just
So
saying.
I asked to speak to the manager. You know what I'm saying? So the manager comes over. Manager's like 6'4".
The owner.
Yeah, the owner. You know what I'm saying? He's like 6'4". He comes over. I'm like, yo, why is everybody in here with sneakers? I'm mad and everything like that. He was like, yo, I'll take care of you and everything like that. To make a long story short, when we sitting down making drinks, my wife says, oh, I think the manager's cute. So
I know you
as
was
a
boiling.
couple,
I know for a split second you was boiling. Like,
I
really?
know,
Like,
but
really,
it has
nigga,
nothing
that's
to
how
do
you
with
feel?
me and everything like that. But you know, the trust and the communication that we have in our marriage and as a couple, you know, I can kind of drown that out. So
dig it.
basically, what I did was, you know, walked up to the dude and was like, my wife.
And then you approached them.
Yeah, because
this gets
sometimes,
gangster.
no. It's better sometimes that the
gangster
same
boy.
sex approach it's the same sex that approaches.
Right.
Because think about it, a woman approach another woman, they're going to be a lot more open to the
Okay.
conversation.
And they're gonna know that you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's another
okay.
thing. That's
So,
another
so
thing.
if I tell Miss Sage,
Okay.
my husband thinks you're cute, you know, blah, 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 whatever, as opposed to my husband saying, hey, Miss Sage, I think you're cute. And she's like, but what about your wife?
What about your wife? Then she's
So-
looking over at the
okay.
wife.
So
you know
I'm
what I
the
mean?
one that's gonna
Got
come
you.
to her and be like, hey,
Gotcha.
Hey, this is what it is, you know. So I went up to the
Okay.
dude. I'm like, yo, my wife thinks you're cute. Now, again, vanilla people, you know how vanilla people are. He's like,
Right.
what?
They on the headlights.
I'm like, well, my wife thinks you're cute, and you know, you can go over and talk to her if you want. Or he was like, well, I got this is what he said. He said, I already got chicks in the club that's watching me already.
Oh.
So I was like, yeah, I can understand that. So I was like, well, if you want to go over and talk to her and give her your number, you can do that too. He was like, wow.
but the excitement for me is that he'll.
Especially after encountering
Right.
you on some.
Yeah, like,
You know,
but you
not
already know
satisfied.
vanilla
But-
people
But
don't.
he had brought us over shots and been like, I'm taking care of you. I'm so
Even
sorry
before
about
he
that,
knew that
you know,
because of the
whatever.
situation with the sneakers.
Right.
He's
so
being
I was like,
kind and everything.
I was like, Daddy, this is our end. Go tell him I think he's cute.
yeah.
And the
Ready to
excitement
go.
for me that my husband, you know, because like I said earlier, I had only been in monogamous relationships, and so this is different territory for me.
Right.
This is a different journey for me, right? And this is my only marriage, and that's why, right?
part.
But the excitement of my husband being able to be like, okay, you know, like I'm gonna go ask
That's
him,
great.
and then I'm like,
That's a benefit.
That's a benefit.
That's a benefit.
I'm excited. I was so excited just that he went and said, even if the dude was like, oh, I'm not interested, or he acted funny about it or whatever. I love to see people's reaction to it. Every time. So it's like,
They don't know what to do. They're like, what the fuck?
entertainment,
The
but
puppet
like,
master.
just,
Yeah.
like just that taboo, just that excitement outside of what, you know, my previous experience had been, that I'm not going to be in trouble for thinking this guy's cute.
That part.
You know,
And
to-
she can tell her husband.
I could tell my
And
husband,
her husband
then
can go
my
over there
husband
and
will
try to
take
make it
care of
happen.
That
Right.
part.
That's a benefit.
Because
That is a
and
big-
inversely, like on the other end, you know, like I said, if my husband thought Miss Sage was cute, you know, I would be like, okay, Miss Sage, my husband thinks you're cute. What you doing? You know, whatever.
It's a benefit. That's a
but
benefit.
like that
Openness.
love and that desire to make your
part.
partner happy. and
That's
to
another
enjoy that
benefit.
together.
Because you're making the other person happy. You're making the other person happy without feeling guilty. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like, I'm married. The person that I'm
Yeah,
married
y'all know
to
it.
is putting this on for me.
Right.
So the benefit is being able to, you know, live out your fantasies that quick, that spontaneous fantasy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I see somebody that I'm attracted to.
And you have that experience together, and that's a powerful,
I want-
That helps
experience.
your
I
bond.
want to go talk to him. I want to meet him,
Mm-hmm.
and the person that I'm with is going to facilitate that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end of the night, you're going home with both of them, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
or at the least you're going home with your wife or your husband,
Right.
and at the end of the day, you guys are in love, and it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's kind of like a benefit. That's one benefit.
I mean,
That's a whole lot. Y'all just named like five different benefits.
But that's you know, talking about benefits, you know, just maybe exclusively for couples, right? But
Yeah.
like looking at kind of a broader spectrum, because like we said earlier, swinging is not just, or the lifestyle is not just couples, right?
Right.
So we have a lot of good friends that we've made in this. You know?
Absolutely.
We learn a lot from people. The diversity of it's one of my favorite parts, and I tell my husband this all the time, is that, you know, we meet people, or we learn from people, we vibe with people, we spend time with people, we hang out with people
Absolutely.
that we may not have normally
You may not have it.
had a relationship
the
with
lights.
in regular life. You
That
know,
part.
people that are, you know, different races, different cultures, different socioeconomic backgrounds. That all kind of blends together when you're in the
it makes
lifestyle.
it a beautiful thing. It makes
And-
it a beautiful thing when everybody comes together.
Yeah.
And because our group, Thick City, we
We're
don't
inclusive.
promote. Yeah, we don't promote like big black cocks or big white cocks or anything specific. We want to include everybody.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're skinny,
Be
if
yourself.
you think you're unattractive. We have
We have all different ages, races,
all
sizes.
rages. We want to include everybody because one, we already understand that different people like different things. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I guess between myself and her, we're not that type of people anyway. You know what I mean? We're people basically.
Right.
We like to be amongst people. We like to talk, learn. You know, it's a whole different.
And we're a great team when we do that. Like that's one of the other
That
things,
part.
and that kind of
Team
that
building.
kind of comes back.
That's
to,
another benefit,
to-
the teamwork.
As far as
Teamwork.
doing this as a couple,
The teamwork.
like that partnership, that teamwork, that communication, like that foundation that you have to do this successfully.
Absolutely.
That's deep.
I've
Yeah.
got a brand called Teamwork. That's what I believe in. That's one of my founding.
Yeah.
Like that's the foundation for me. Everything I do is about team. I prefer that over doing anything solo, and that's why I choose
Absolutely.
the lifestyle.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I'm
pushes
saying?
you to face all of your insecurities and really like work on
absolutely.
you and look in the mirror in
Absolutely.
terms of like, okay, and you know, revising your narrative on what love is.
Absolutely.
Right?
I feel like you over here reading my notes. You keep leading me right into the next questions. I don't know how you're doing this. You got the that thing or something. How you feel about that? So
I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a
You're
lot.
over-
I
you're-
feel
you're
like
over there
the
quiet. You feel like
well, because they
I
have a
can
lot
see
to
the
share, and I'm trying to
beams
absorb
coming
all
off
of
your
it.
body. I can see
Absolutely.
I can
No,
see it
that's
coming
okay.
off of you. You are.
But I feel
I know
like,
right
the
now.
shoulders get up like that.
I feel like the communication that they have to have in order to be that open and honest with each other causes that great foundation for the relationship,
And we built
from
that
there
foundation.
it can only get better.
You know, and like I said, when I first came into this, I was new. So my husband, who was my friend at the time, like we built this foundation that he then was able to kind of walk me through it. And like I had to have this experience of kind of working through my shit or like unlearning a lot of those kind of cultural narratives
Learn
that
and
we
unlearn.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you know, in terms
A
of
lot
like,
of feelings are involved with this.
what is this? What does this mean that my husband wants to have sex with other people, or you know, for us to have sex with other people? Does it mean that he, you know, doesn't love me, doesn't value me, doesn't respect me? It doesn't mean any of that.
Thank you. Preach, preacher.
It doesn't mean any of that.
Thank you.
You know,
Absolutely not.
My husband. I know that my husband loves me and would do anything for me, and
And he has proven that he will do anything for you.
And-
he will go to the 6'4" owner of an establishment and let them know that you think that they're attractive after they made him go home.
yeah,
and change
that's what I'm
his
talking
goddamn
about.
shoes just to be a part of
but
the party.
but there's also the teamwork to that, because I was like, this venue needs to be a thick city venue. Let's get it. Let's get it.
You know what I'm
He's
saying?
cute.
And that transition
You
is
know,
easier now too.
right.
So
So-
you just made a friend, a potential business partner.
Right.
You've expanded your connection together. Like that shit is.
And sometimes
that's a win-win-win
sometimes,
situation.
Sometimes you just planting a seed, right?
That
Because
part.
my husband may have went and said that to him, and he might have been like, oh, you know, he was like, oh, I don't know what to do with this, and you know, we might come back. You know, he might be sitting thinking about that, like, okay,
Or what's going to happen is he's
you
going
know,
to
it
go
might
back
be
to
later on.
Right.
Or just like dudes
That
do,
something
he's gonna
comes
go
up.
back to one of his friends and be like, you know what, this dude came up to me and asked me or told me that his wife was attracted to me, and he was gonna let me talk to his wife. And then somebody might pull him aside and be like, yo, that's almost like swinging, or that's a lifestyle. So it's also almost like an introduction, like you said, an educational thing, but it also kind of like raises like awareness to other people, like this what goes on, or this could happen. You know what I mean?
And like you said earlier, it has nothing to do with you being unhappy in your marriage or your relationship, or even as a single person in your life, correct? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
So it doesn't have to be that there's a deficit. We're adding to something wonderful that we already have.
We are now. There are deficits in the lifestyle.
We're gonna get to that too.
No, there are deficits in
it. But when it's done right, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, exactly.
Winning.
And-
That's what it looks like.
We're a
It
picture
looks
of
like
when
winning.
we're a picture of when it's done right, and and another thing is
That's why I like y'all. That's why I gravitated towards y'all. I seen from the beginning that like y'all was both in it together for real.
Together for
You know
real,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like,
it's
it
not
wasn't-
like me dragging her along.
Yeah.
It's
And
not
I
like
can
I'm
tell
trying
you-
to please my
Right.
husband so
No.
much that I'll do it, or I'm trying to please my wife so much that I'll do it. We with this. We both with this, and
I
we
was
riding
already
together.
very-
Like, and y'all make it clear to everybody.
Yeah.
Y'all let everybody know, like, this is what it is.
Yeah. This is
what
Like,
it
we
is, yeah.
together. Like, don't even try to. The boundaries are set. We a team. Like, that shit is love. I appreciate watching.
That's
y'all.
another thing. That's another going maybe to jump back or piggyback on the last subject. That's another benefit. It makes, because you come into these certain situations and well, I'm not gonna say and, because you come into these certain situations, it makes your bond stronger.
does.
Because you know what I mean. You set some rules, but you always know what the other person is thinking. You know what I mean? And because you, want to please the
before
other
you
person,
go into it. You have a conversation when you come out of it. You debrief when you come out of it.
you always want to please
Like,
the
how
other
did that go?
person,
You
but you
know?
have your
How do you
set
feel?
rules. You know what I
Right.
mean? But the bond and the trust is unbelievable
It's incredible.
when you do it right.
Right.
Like you said, when you do it right.
Unbreakable.
Yeah.
All right, so that's some dope shit. It's dope, isn't it? Yeah, it is. The lifestyle shit is dope. I'm trying to get everybody in my circle, everybody that I come across in my life day to day, to at least
Try it. Just at
least.
least
mean,
try it.
because
Even at
there's-
least go
there's-
to a party or an
Right.
event. You don't have to do anything. Just like our events, we always publish. There's no pressure at all.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't you? I mean, people who go and watch porn,
We
it's the
encourage
same
people
thing.
to come and watch their
You
first
just
time.
watching
Right.
porn
Just
live.
every
You
time
just
you
watching
have
porn
to-
live, basically. You know
Just
what I'm saying?
come, hang out, get a vibe.
You may spend a little bit of money to do so, but you're put into an environment like, you know what? I've never tried this before. I never saw this before. Either you like it, you know what I'm saying? Hey, we want to come back and watch people.
Yeah.
There's people whose fetishes is just strictly watching. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
We like watching other people. We like being watched. But, I mean, if that's something that you do in the privacy of your home, why can't you and your wife or you and your girlfriend, why can't y'all go do it at a club? You know what I'm saying? It's just you and her. You know what I'm saying? I guess what it is it's so
It's an
taboo.
invention.
It's been
It's
so
still-
taboo for a long period of time. And then because me and you are of African American descent, we are really not exposed to it because a lot of our people are just going to just like, nah, I can't fuck with it.
Right.
You know, I'm not sharing my wife.
Right.
I'm not sharing my husband. You know what I'm saying? They just put it down. And
Immediately.
it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to experience it. So
But you made a comment
So it's-
earlier that I felt like was important, and it was like, okay, am I gonna have this relationship in this life that I built with my partner and end it all because they want to have sex with another person, right?
Right. And I'm
Like,
not.
so
yeah.
in terms of like that,
not.
that
Like,
whole
Y'all been together 15, 20 years, and this person steps out of the marriage or the relationship, or 15, 20 years, they should be married by now, but you know what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
He steps out of your union, and all of a sudden, 20 years of what y'all built, all your finances, your family is over.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
that's
Ridiculous.
crazy.
no, for in
ridiculous.
over
Our grandparents didn't do that because they
And-
felt that, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
the union needs to be stronger. It's just the younger generation that's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm out of here.
But over for what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I'm gonna, shame my husband, or my husband is gonna shame me for being a human being and having a sexual attraction to another person. What is that?
Exactly.
What is that?
Where did that
that's
come from?
You
That's
know,
normal.
You know what that
That's
is?
normal, right?
That's possession. That's control.
That part.
That's power. That's not
That's
love.
insecurity.
Right? That's insecurity.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so being able to be really honest with yourself about, okay, like, I'm going to allow him to be who he is, and I'm going to love him for who he is,
Right.
regardless. And I want him to be living his best life with me.
Right. That sounds unconditional.
No, it's the structures. It's the structures that are present in society today that kind of makes people think that, oh, I can't do that because I'll
What
be
does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean? How I
Right.
will be looked at? You know what I mean? And
But when you reframe that narrative of what love is, there's all these like doors and opportunities and possibilities to be able to enjoy life together and strengthen that bond.
absolutely.
I like the way that was worded. That's true indeed. So let's debunk the whole myth. So I've had this situation happen to me in life before. When I meet new people and I tell them,
This is my shit, the Brooklyn Zoo.
we're in each other's heads. I promise you this, because when I was looking at my notes a second ago, I'm in my head. I said to myself, I'm like, if it wasn't for the music, I'm waiting for a song. Like, I'm waiting for a song to come on to like really
This
like
one,
hit
this
me and be like to remind me that the music is on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you say that for the very next song. That's dope.
You know what you mentioned
So-
earlier that I thought was a thing too, is when you get older and you're not in these group situations besides work per se, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're not in school, you're not in these different social situations where you're around a lot of people and you're doing your day-to-day monotony that we all do, right? Work and home and, you know, showering kids and bills and all that, right? When do you really have the opportunity to meet friends with that level of diversity and like-mindedness and like whatnot, like
Right.
the ability to be able to like have that network, have those friendships, and have those friendships expand across, you know, geographical areas, socioeconomic areas, you know, race, culture, you know,
Absolutely.
gender, different kinks, whatever it is, right? Like it's part of expanding your mind and your repertoire of
Yes.
you know activities together, and that is very fulfilling in itself.
Yeah.
Because I see y'all
Absolutely.
y'all are fucking. I remember it was like one day, I got like 30 different invites to new groups, and I'm like, they all said Thick City on them. I'm like, what the fuck? How they doing this? Like, who has the time? Who's doing it? Who's in charge of y'all's whole thing?
Her.
Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how I can barely keep up with one group.
Well, what we wanted to do is we wanted to give different geographical locations where people can connect. So initially, we had kept it to the tri-state area because we were hosting parties. We were actually hosting parties to make money for our wedding.
Right.
Initially.
Yeah,
We're
that's how we
we're gonna
started.
we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
give
that's
this
how we
a-
started
We're
with
going to
the-
give this a test run.
That's
as
how
a
we started
fun-
together with the parties. I mean, I was
Yeah.
doing parties before, but
Right.
that's how we said when we came together. We was like, you know, I was like, babe, you know, I like doing parties and stuff like that, and she wasn't really into parties, you know, because of, you know.
Well, I had limited experience.
Yeah.
But,
But she wasn't
it
really into parties.
It started as a fundraiser, and then
Sounds
No, I mean,
fundraiser.
it started as a fundraiser for the wedding, and then I was like, "Ooh, I like this
I'm
shit."
trademarking that.
keep
Wait a
going.
minute.
I'm good at this
putting that
shit.
on all my
You know what I'm
flyers
saying?
from now on.
then
Fundraiser.
we got
Fundraiser.
right. So we got more, you know, more interest, more connections. It started to spread out. We started meeting new people. We saw an interest where, you know what? Let's stop denying applications from out of this tri-state area and let's
Yeah.
see what we can do, right? So we started getting invites for collaborations. Like I mentioned earlier before we were on the show, that after we did our last party where we did we were commissioned to run an event for somebody in a very large venue, a 10,000 square foot venue. We had some guests that came to that event who saw what we were doing and liked what we were doing, and now we're going to be hosting at Hito in Jamaica next summer.
Yeah.
And I'm in
Exposure.
there.
Exposure. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it grew, and then so those different geographical regions or those different subgroups of Thick City were designed with the idea that we want people to connect. We allow other people to advertise their events and their parties and their lifestyle related businesses in our groups because we're about the community
That
and building the
And the
community.
connection.
We're not having a competition with anybody.
Not having no competition. We just
we're
want
enjoying this.
everybody
We're
to get
wanting other
together.
people to enjoy this and have a positive experience.
We want everybody to get together. We want, just like you know, you mentioned earlier, we want to kind of pull the hood off of this like dark entity that people
Yes.
think that the
the stigma attached to it.
yeah, because it's not like that. You know what I mean? You know, like we said earlier, you know, it's all type of variations, and by you know, by opening it up to new regions and different people, it kind of like
It opened the door to collaborations, bigger, better things. Like, we're like, all right,
it made us
we're gonna
start
flow with
thinking
it.
a little bit more global. Like you said, you know what?
Yeah.
Thinking bigger.
You know what? Let's get out of. Plus, another thing is, if you know the Northeast area, people up here are very conservative about certain situations. They're real funny and real
Stuck in their ways.
stuck in their ways. When you start going down south and out west, people
west,
have a little bit more open-minded about stuff. Like you know, Florida, Texas, and places like that. They're very open. Well, because of the population, very open-minded about all types of stuff. You know, events and you know chats and stuff like that. Just being part of a group.
Right.
So that was another thing about expanding is because getting out of the Northeast, getting out of the attitude of the Northeast, getting, networking with people.
It has that energy of that openness and that, the novelty, the novelty, which we mentioned earlier, that's like one of the benefits, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
that novelty, like we love that we have these opportunities to travel together.
That
Yeah.
You
part.
know, we're meeting
another
people,
benefit.
and we're going places and we're having collaborations with people that
We
we
talk
would have
to-
never otherwise met.
We talk to people on our
Right.
Facebook page like we're friends and we never even met
Never
them
met 'em
before.
before.
You know what
Like,
I'm
you
saying?
just
They're
feel
like, if you
connected.
ever come down to Dallas, just hit us up.
And-
We got you.
and
Stay at our house.
Right,
and
and we-
That's cool.
and
You know what I
and
mean?
we know somebody.
We
who
never
got
have to
somewhere
pay for
go.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we fix city in Connecticut, but we fix city in Cali too.
Yeah,
Do
exactly.
you know what I mean? Like it's across the map at this point, and so COVID is, we're dealing with, kind of being cautious in terms of watching the COVID stuff, but we're building collaborations,
building. The mentality alone brings people together.
and there's that vision.
Yeah. People
There's that
always
vision
say,
for something.
always message us. We
mentality.
like what you guys doing. We like that. You're building because there's always groups out there. It's millions of groups or thousands of groups. So we're not doing anything different. You know what I mean? We're not tailoring it to anybody. We're just saying, hey, this is who we are.
Yeah.
This is we're putting it out there. If you're like us, hey, come join us. You know what
rock
I'm
with
saying?
us.
Right.
Be a part of our community. That's all. You know what I mean?
So there's no, because a lot of people think that there is, but from my opinion, how do y'all feel? Is there a certain type of person that swings or that lives the lifestyle? Is there a type of look? Can you look at somebody and just know?
No, not at all.
You never know.
Not at all. From the creep to the CEO, it's all in between. You couldn't even tell. Like you said earlier, you've been to parties where you see judges. We meet people, all the time, and I'm not gonna even put them at a level, but we meet people who are like everyday, just like us. They have families. They have, they're professionals,
Yeah.
and they're regular people. It's
There's a
just,
lot of very affluent people.
yeah. They just have this other side to them that they're not going to bottle up anymore. They're going to get with other people and have fun with it. You know what I
Right.
mean? So I don't think there's any
So
type
it's
of
not
people.
it's not a race thing. It's not a
Not a
size thing. It's not
No.
not a race thing.
That's
not
the
a
best part, though.
money
is that,
thing,
that there's that
everybody.
diversity of it. Is that you never know.
Well, let me go back on that because we talked about race before.
right. And unfortunately,
Unfortunately,
our race of people
our race, which is
to
African Americans,
tend to be
they're
a little more closed-minded.
You're a little
to
bit more
ideas.
timid, a little bit more closed-minded. So I would say that most of the time, the average swinger, I'm not gonna say average, but I would say the average swinger. No, I'm not gonna say average, but I'm gonna say that a lot of African Americans, as we talked about earlier, don't want to try to expose themselves because of maybe backlash or because of
They're afraid of people's opinions.
what people have you may be stereotypes and stuff like that. It was just not being open like other races may have been. You know what I mean? Or maybe about swinging. So the type of swingers out there, what I've seen as time goes on, as we progress into this type of lifestyle, there are more and more African Americans that are becoming aware of the lifestyle and embracing it.
Yeah.
But
And by them teaching other people,
Others.
or them by being in the lifestyle, and other people seeing those people, they're like, okay, these people are doing it. Maybe I can try it.
Right.
So that's the key.
And as we started to utilize, because we started off, within our network or known kind of lifestyle communities, websites that, were already designated for swingers or lifestyle people.
Okay.
Then we moved to using the MeWe. And now that we've moved to using the larger, kind of more inclusive platforms like, Facebook or Instagram or whatnot, we've actually found the Facebook group for Thick City is like over 2,000 people, predominantly black though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Because
So-
you know what?
So I mean, and I can't speak on. It's not like my place to kind of speak on that. However, just an observation from adminning that group, we have a large, like, Black lifestyle community within Thick City.
Okay.
And so something is happening, something is shifting.
Yes,
Something
yes.
is moving, in that direction of openness within that community as well.
Niggas
Just
are
an
tired of-
observation from the outside.
Niggas are tired of seeing the white man have all the fun.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like the same thing when you be like, I ain't going fucking climbing with these people. I ain't going climbing.
what I'm
And
saying?
you finally go climbing, and you're like, this is fucking fun. I should have did it a long time ago. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean? I'm
But
tired
no,
of-
as she mentioned, there are a lot of blacks on our chats. But I think to actually go to parties and go to events, we'll put it like this: those blacks are in the West and the South. You know what I'm saying? As we talked about earlier.
The DMV area.
Oh, yeah,
has a
that
good
DMV
amount.
area-
But I'm happy we
Yeah.
opened up to them because now we're able to have that, kind of that connection and that inclusiveness and expanding to where we're able to see, okay, our experience in Connecticut may have been what y'all were initially talking about, but outside of this, outside of that box where we are expanding to other parts of the country, we're seeing, what? The black community is swinging.
Yeah.
are.
Because they're
They
being
are.
more, they're
just not
they're
as
exposed
much
to
as
it.
white people. But they're doing it.
No,
There's
yeah,
more,
yeah,
there's
yeah.
more that are doing it
Well,
now.
Well, that's the history of being
it's-
open-minded. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't like the stereotype, but again, we'll say whites have a history of being open-minded about a lot of stuff, where blacks, whatever situation
But having
is
the
in,
privilege
is
to do
closed-minded.
so.
Yeah.
Right?
That too.
So
Yeah.
that's another
Yeah,
issue
yeah.
is having the privilege to do so as opposed to being part of, a group where you're needing to, kind of constantly be watching and kind of step up like how, you're behaving the way that you're acting because you're feeling as though you're, or you are under scrutiny for many things, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
there's this higher standard.
Absolutely.
And so where, myself or Miss Sage may be able to kind of get away with something, or be accepted for something because of our privilege, like that's not the same experience, right?
No, you're right.
And
I
so
agree
like
with
that judgment,
I agree there.
that judgment in that issue of like white privilege exists in that as well. And so like being able to kind of like be aware of and, shift those narratives as a community. I think that's important. I think it's been a valuable experience for us to be able to see, like, okay, this does exist and it can continue to flourish, and we can be a part of that.
Hell yeah. Change.
And we have the best of both worlds, too.
And
so.
you absolutely have.
If you don't like chocolate, if you don't like white, then I don't know what you like.
All right.
But
so,
everything okay.
that part too.
know what I'm saying?
That part too. Everything
And,
is.
and whatever
gonna
it
be
is,
okay.
like we said earlier, Thick City doesn't. We had people initially like, so do you have to be thick to be in Thick City? Girl, get your skinny ass over here. Like,
It's
we
an
include
attitude.
everybody.
Right. Get your
Yeah,
thin
yeah.
ass
Include
over here and stand
everybody.
next to a thick one.
One of the sexiest things in the world is confidence, right?
That part.
Right.
That is this.
It's
that
confidence.
goes
Being
back to-
comfortable in your own skin.
That's another benefit of being in a lifestyle. Like, there's a lot of people who talk to us and be like, I'm not comfortable with my body in front of all these people, and then they go to a party
It's
and
body
they see
positivity.
nothing
Like,
but
come as you
bigger
are.
people bigger
Yeah.
than them, just being free and be like fuck it, I'm out here.
Right,
You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Me and my husband are perfect. We be butt ass naked in front of 200 people. Like, hey, like sitting there having a
you
drink,
either
Eating chips, eating a drink, like,
chips,
how you doing?
and to be able to have that level of like security and being comfortable in your own skin and like that no judgment, no shame type of atmosphere with people from different races,
It's a
different ages,
beautiful,
different
it's a
sizes.
beautiful mind state.
It is.
It's a beautiful mind state.
It is
That's
beautiful.
one of the benefits of the lifestyle. It puts you, once you're comfortable within yourself or within
That body
your group,
positivity, the self love.
you're not thinking of anything else. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I love to see people who are, I don't like to I don't like to speak. I like to see people who think that they're overweight or are overweight, maybe 350 pounds or something like that. They come to the party and they're in a fucking thong.
Right.
And that's a beautiful thing.
Right.
Love
You know what I'm saying? That's confidence.
see that.
Confidence is sexy.
Love
Because
yourself.
before, somebody that they met before may have been like,
May
I'm
have
not messing with that
shamed
person.
them or
but
rejected
because they're
them.
confident, somebody be like, you know what? That's sexy that that person is confident. Let me go and try her now. You know what I'm saying? And we love that as hosts. We love putting together that diversity to where, you know what I'm saying, two people who thought that they may not even intertwine, all of a sudden now they're together.
That
you know what I
part.
mean? That's beautiful. That's
Now
that's
you're trying
beautiful.
something new. You're open to something
I
new.
love-
You'd be surprised about what you like.
This thing makes me tingle on the inside of my body. God damn, I love it. All right, last question, y'all. It's the best. It's gonna be the best one too. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. So, would you recommend the lifestyle as a way of life to other people?
Absolutely.
Say it a little bit louder, please. Say it a little bit louder.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be the devil's advocate
No,
here.
I would
You need one. You need one. Well, you need one anyway.
recommend trying.
Wait a
That's what I was going to
Open
say.
to it.
That's what I'm going to say.
It's not for everybody,
Yes,
and
yes.
that's okay. And
It's
we're
not for
gonna-
everybody.
We're not in the same way that we expect
It is
people
definitely
not
not
to,
for
like,
everybody.
kink
Okay.
shame or shame people who are open in their sexuality. Like, we're bringing that same energy to, you know what? If this is not for you, we don't lose any respect for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, people, you have that autonomy and that ability to make those decisions on your own. We'll encourage you, and we can set a positive example in terms of, okay, so this is what it looks like when it's working,
All right. Okay.
and this is how beautiful, and this is how, you know, like, abundant that it can be, right?
All right.
And
The grass
We're-
could be
we're-
greener on
yeah.
the other side, but
you know what?
know that
but we're open
you
to
might not.
Be your
Yeah,
it might not be
exactly.
your grass.
and you know
Artificial
what?
grass. Turf. You might have turf. Yeah.
And you figure out over time, and it can change over time of what that looks like too. You know, like, I was just talking to my husband the other day, and we were chilling. I was like, you know what? It's interesting because I'm finding there are so many things with the lifestyle that aren't sex that I'm like, yo, or kinks that aren't necessarily sexual that, like, I really enjoy
That
this.
part.
Like, this is, you know,
That's dope.
this is incredible.
That's
you know,
dope.
Oh, yeah.
And there's it's just a lot deeper than just sex. It's not about sex. It's an incredible kind of growth and learning experience for you individually, for you, you know, with your partner
And your,
in
yeah,
other
that's what I was gonna.
relationships.
Yeah, I was gonna add the when you say would we recommend this, I would say yes, because you want to you don't want to test your relationship, but you want to make the relationship stronger, and I'm not saying you go to a party and play to make your relationship stronger, but you go to a party together, say, you know, this is going to be a first time. We go to a party as a couple the first time. We see stuff that we enjoy. We see stuff that we may not enjoy. But the communication on that subject just kind of, you know, adds to, it just adds to your life together. You know what I'm saying? Because it just
That
kind of
bond that you have, that get together, that trust, that communication, that friendship,
right.
Yep.
you know, that
The
partnership
foundation.
is real.
experiences make a couple or a relationship like tighter when you have a whole lot of experiences, whether it's bad or good. Bad experiences is going to make you fucking break up. Good
No,
experiences is going to make
you could go through difficulty, and even difficulty in making this transition for people who are new, and have that strengthen you and have it be cathartic and have you bring you to that other level for yourself and your partner.
Right.
You know, there's that challenge to be able to be a better you, to be able to be more
As long as you're
authentic.
open to the idea
You know what I
of
mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's all about authenticity. It's all about, you know, being able to, okay, like, there's nothing that my husband couldn't say to me. You know,
That
he's
part.
not walking on
Yeah.
eggshells.
Right.
You know,
benefit.
and that communication that transfers to other parts of your life.
Yes.
It's not just about sex, but, like, if I'm able to, be mature enough in selflessness enough, right? Like,
Boy,
and
got
be
you a
able
good one over
and
there,
be
boy.
able to.
I know. That's why I married her.
I love you. I want you to be happy, and I want to be happy together. In the purity of that, the strength of that, like without those bounds of like, okay, like I need to control you to love you,
Right.
It's a certain adrenaline that you have to be a part of to feel. Like I couldn't describe to somebody that's vanilla.
It's an adventure.
Yeah, I couldn't I couldn't describe to
so
somebody
much
that's
fun.
vanilla how happy. Like I couldn't like I would say about, because I've been in this for like 10 years by myself. Okay. 10 years ago, you couldn't tell me like you couldn't explain to me, or I couldn't fathom how a dude would get pleasure off of somebody letting him, or somebody sexing his wife, and he's sitting there enjoying it. 10 years ago, I couldn't fathom that. Like, I couldn't do that. Especially as African Americans, like, I ain't letting nobody get my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I guess being in that lifestyle and having, I had previous relationships where there was a swap. I was comfortable with it. You know what I mean? So, it's not something that, you get into and you be like, yeah, I'll let her, try somebody else, because your emotions may not get into it. You have to also feel your emotions. But what I'm saying is at this point, it got to a progression where I wasn't initially like that, but I had to think, like she said, to not be selfish.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? If I want this, I'm pretty sure she wants this. You know what I mean? So you have to think like that. So, making her happy and kind of, making her happy and kind of seeing what makes her happy started making me happy. Like, I'm like, damn, I'm becoming what I used to question. You know what I mean?
Man.
So
Instead of shaming and trying to control the situation, recognizing that, like, I have even more respect and love for you, that you just told this restaurant owner that I think he's cute and he should call us.
That
like,
part.
you know what I'm saying? That, like, it's attractive. That, remember I said earlier, what's the sexiest thing? Confidence, right? So, like, that my husband is so confident that he just went up to this other man and was like, my wife thinks you're cute, you should call us.
And it's dope to know that
Do you
you
know
got
what I'm saying?
somebody that's riding with you.
Yeah.
that's
you
a
got somebody
benefit.
riding, like, you know
Benefit.
you got
This
somebody
is my
riding
this
with
is
you.
my partner in
Benefit.
everything, and there is
Benefit,
nothing.
you know?
There is
That's
nothing.
not like you got a wingman, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a certain
Yeah.
certain thing there with another dude, you know what I'm saying, going into another woman.
Right.
But it like she just said, I mean, either or. If she's going to we was at the beach and it was a couple women that she saw that had some fat asses. She was like, "Oh, I know you gonna like that."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I
So
was
she
excited
automatically,
I was excited for him, like, oh, my husband gonna like her. I'm going to talk to
so
her.
she went
know
up to
what
her. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Benefit,
oh,
a benefit.
I'm gonna bring daddy a gift today. Like, listen, it's exciting. You know what I mean? Like, having that and having that energy for each other, where
Making
you're
each other
really-
happy. I think
Yeah.
that's the benefit that we have, because we
Right.
before there was an area in which there was a question of am I making that person happy? Am I making that person happy? And I think with her, and she can admit, she kind of graduated to where she started to think of, you know what, he's not going nowhere. We're married. He, he's allowing me to do this. So why am I, why aren't I, feeling free or as
Need
free
to
as
be
I
myself.
should be?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And those are ongoing conversations. You know what I mean? And to be able to have that line of communication be open, this is my best friend.
That part.
Okay? So in a vanilla monogamous relationship, there are some things you're really gonna filter from your partner out of fear
Yeah,
of
just out of
judgment,
fear,
out
yeah.
of fear of
losing
rejection,
them,
out of fear
right.
of losing them, out of fear of there being an argument.
And it usually
And-
has to do with infidelity. A lot of the time,
And-
relationships. And I'm sorry to cut you off like
it's
that,
okay.
babe. But another benefit. I'm sorry, because that benefit, that question is a good question. It's an important question because it's a whole bunch of benefits to it. But another benefit to this is a lot of the times infidelity is a reason why relationships don't last.
Yeah.
And a lot of other things people can get through. Me and my wife argue about stuff every day, or it could be stuff.
Right. Why you ain't pay the bill on time?
Why are you late? Why are you late to the interview? But infidelity is a big thing. A lot of the times when you ask people why things didn't work out, because he cheated on me or she cheated on me. Usually it's he cheated on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you can take that out of the equation. Yes. That's a big thing to a lot of people. That's a big thing.
We just fighting over little shit we could get over. You know what I'm saying? And like the fact that we're doing so much together and we have that partnership together where we have to show up and show out wherever we go, right? We have respect for each other where we could be having a little argument in the car, but as soon as we show up to host an event or as soon as our kids are with us or whatever it is, like we're back on. We're a team.
Word.
And nobody ever going to see anything different.
That part.
Do you know what I'm saying? And like that level of partnership, you
can't lose.
Yeah.
You cannot lose.
From
my perspective, you can't lose.
This being in a lifestyle gives you this opportunity, this constant opportunity to kind of re-examine your shit and to show up and be the best you as part of the team.
Yeah.
One of my favorite sayings. I hold on, let me make sure I need niggas biting my shit. But one of my favorite sayings is, "Sex is not a 4-letter word." You know what I'm saying? So like that should never be, from my perspective, that should never be a reason that a loving bond is broken. Sex. That shouldn't do it. Maybe trust. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Might be able to do it. That's how
exactly.
But sex, like, come on, like that shouldn't be the reason that
because
you can't build and be great.
It's natural, and if
I don't have to restrict you for you to love me.
Well, especially something as far as sex and desires. It's not like if someone has a thought of having sex with someone else, like she just described, just because I have sex with somebody else or she has sex with somebody else, that doesn't take away from our union, our marriage, our homeness, our parenting and shit like that. You know what I mean? So
it's even stronger that we can talk about it and do it together.
No, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no, absolutely.
I don't have to step out for any kind of like unmet need, whatever, because we're having those ongoing conversations. And if I have an interest or he has an interest, then we're making that happen together as a team.
That part,
yes,
right.
Because if
that's another benefit. That's another benefit. That's another benefit.
I wish I had a ding button right now. To just ding, ding. Like,
if his needs aren't getting met, there's something wrong in our communication.
Right.
And a lot of times in vanilla relationships, that's where it starts going sour.
Because it's never a physical thing. It's not just physical.
It's not just physical. It's not just physical.
It's not physical ever. It's if someone's not, and from my perspective, in a relationship, a loving relationship, if a person's not happy, it's not physical. That ain't got shit to do with it. It's the other shit.
Yeah. Exactly.
So. Like
and there may be some physical pieces to that, but being able to have those open conversations,
never just solely
sexual. No, it's not just that.
I went and had sex with somebody else because you don't know how to ride my dick the right way. It's not that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I will say that there are some. No. Because let's not steer wrong. But there are some. Not in our relationship. We're not talking about our relationship.
Right.
But there are couples out there who may swing or may indulge in a lifestyle for the lack of
sex.
For the lack of sex. We'll go with the cuckold situation. You know what I'm saying? Where it's not necessarily, we see our fair share of couples who men may not be very well endowed for the woman to manage for the rest of her life. So they consent on, hey, let's try maybe me playing with other people, to kind of satisfy that portion of it. Has nothing to do with the love. I still love you. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And all the other needs may be met.
Yeah,
right? So like I get everything I need in this relationship, and once in a while I like some variety. Somebody gave me a really good analogy one time when I was first, Jay and I were first together, and I was trying to kind of learn and adjust to the idea of being in the lifestyle together. And somebody said to me, another couple, a woman actually, and that's another thing where like it's really helpful to be able to have these friendships. And like there's communities where there's women only groups in terms of like women's like lifestyle support groups where we talk to each other and give each other advice, or you know,
okay.
there's a lot of different layers to this, right? And so another woman said to me, you know, my husband explained it to me one time in that like, so lasagna is my favorite dish, right? Lasagna is my favorite meal, and I can eat, and I will eat lasagna for the rest of my life. I can't live without eating lasagna for the rest of my life.
Just have a chicken sandwich every now and then.
And sometimes I just want a fucking burger.
That's all. That's all it is.
But it has shit to do with like.
You still love lasagna. I'm having lasagna tomorrow. I'm having it Thursday.
Right.
But next Wednesday, I'm going to have a burger.
Right. And
Yesterday
like,
was National Lasagna Day too.
yeah.
Oh, was it?
Do you know
That's
what I'm
funny
saying?
shit.
Like,
That's funny shit.
And it's really that simple, right? Like,
Yep.
you know,
Just want
what
something
goes
new.
into a relationship.
So different.
There are so many layers and so many things that go into a relationship that you know fulfill our needs, right?
Right.
Sex is just one of those things.
That's
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Sex
just
is
one
not
of those
synonymous
things.
with love.
Yeah.
Sex is not the whole relationship.
No.
So
Absolutely
many
not.
people make it that. Like, that's the only thing. It's like, what are you talking about? You need to learn yourself.
Yeah,
Right.
you got to learn more. You got
Experience.
to
We
open up.
we have a partnership.
not
We
just sex.
love to do things. We you know love to, you know, I don't know, fucking go hiking, right? And sometimes we go hiking with somebody else. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's like
Yeah.
we still love this activity. We love sex, and sometimes we love sex with other people. Sometimes we love sex with other people together. Whatever.
Right.
But that doesn't take away from all those other foundations
And-
of love and trust and communication that you have as a partner.
Boy, y'all crazy this mother. We can do this shit all day, but I know y'all got somewhere to go. And oh man, I already know that, you know, too many people are not going to be, you know, the ADHD thing is a real life situation for these young people. But we've done very well. So we got all of the questions answered, and I am very grateful for y'all's. Input
No, we
to
appreciate
it.
the
Y'all
opportunity.
have
Thank you.
educated
Appreciate
me.
the
I
opportunity
thank y'all
to
for
come
that,
up here.
and I'm sure that people will be entertained at the same time. Ms.
Let's
James
do it
said-
again. Let's do it
I
again.
feel
We're
that
gonna do it
I
way-
was
we're gonna do it
definitely
many more times.
educated, and I feel that you guys should continue educating everybody because I feel that this was a very good conversation to, you know, open people's minds about what's going on and what your possibilities are in this world.
Exactly.
Thank you for being a part of
Expectations
that.
and things like that. Yeah, yeah.
So this is what I've gotten so far out of this conversation.
Drum roll.
You know what I'm saying? Because all I
Extraction.
see are benefits. That's all I see. That's all I see are benefits. So I'm some of the ones that I wrote down. The benefits of living this lifestyle, what I call a swinger lifestyle, but I consider myself a swinger. You know, I'm sure maybe over time the terminologies will change.
Yeah, yeah.
But as of right now, I consider myself a swinger. And for the swinger lifestyle, some of the benefits that I see and y'all have expressed today with me, and these are some of these things I've already in my mind had written down on my notepad. But so communication is a benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Helps the couple, individuals communicate better, become stronger in their communication.
Yeah.
Trust.
Number one rule, basically. Yeah.
Number one,
Trust,
trust.
communication.
It helps. This lifestyle can absolutely help you become more trusting in the person that you're with, and that adds to the communication,
Absolutely, you have to.
the
You
loving
have
part
to.
of
The trust. Yeah.
your relationship. Freedom of expression.
Yes. Yes. Freedom of expression. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The
You know what I'm saying?
whole.
You
The
can
whole
be-
nine.
Be yourself.
Be yourself.
Be
That's a
yourself.
good. That's a good. That's a good.
And
term.
being someone
That's a
who
good
loves
term. Be
you
yourself.
for
Yeah.
being yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Confidence
Yeah. Yeah.
can help build confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you said, there's people that I've had this happen to me recently too. Someone was like, I'm trying to introduce the lifestyle idea to them, and they're like, I don't feel comfortable in my body yet.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a bigger girl, and I don't think people are gonna like me. I'm like,
Bring
Just
us
do
to a
it.
party
Just-
so she
yeah.
can see us.
Yeah.
big-
Bring it to our
Just do it.
parties.
so
Bring
she,
it to our
so she can see
parties.
us big girls rocking our
you
fupas
know,
all over the place. Okay,
you know,
like,
build that up.
Get
So there's a benefit that you can absolutely build your confidence within this lifestyle, right? Security in a relationship, emotional security.
Oh yeah,
When
absolutely.
you know that you got somebody that's gonna rock with you, somebody that's by your side no matter what, and like once you commit, you commit. It ain't we're not gonna break what we have.
No, nobody can
some
say
simple shit like
anything.
that.
Nobody can say anything. We can't see anything. That's just going to differ from what we already know as our committed relationship.
Right.
So yeah,
Why we in
absolutely.
this?
Security.
Right. Teamwork
Yeah,
helps people come together and work together. There's a whole lot of motherfucking benefits.
yeah.
There's a whole lot of motherfucking benefits. All right. So the lifestyle can also put you in a position to face your insecurities, look your emotions dead in the face, and deal with them,
Yeah.
and move on. Once you realize, and it's a lot easier once you realize that you got a community of people, a network of people that do accept you for who you are.
Exactly. Makes it a
You know what
lot
I'm saying?
easier.
That,
Yep.
that part. You get to travel.
Yeah. If you want to, I mean,
We
there's
love to
local, but
travel.
we love to travel. There's
might
other
get to
people
travel
it
for
might
free.
not be. Yeah. No, I mean,
Might get to
no-
travel for free.
the novelty, the new experiences, the new connections, those, across, like I said, there's a lot of diversity and a lot of doors that open
That
that
part.
wouldn't otherwise happen.
oh, absolutely.
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it too. Okay, so the mindset that you have, just in a general sense, once you into the lifestyle, once you have decided to open yourself up and actually
Almost like a stress-free. It's stress-free.
That non-shaming, that
Because
non-judgment.
stress-
Yeah, that
Guilt.
non-shaming, non-guilt. You don't have that guilt, and a lot of times in relationship, that shame and that guilt, that's what builds up, and that's what destroys a lot of it. Because you're feeling guilty about having these thoughts, or you're feeling guilty about liking somebody where you can't even tell the opposite sex or person that you with or the person that you're on the couch with, like, you know what? I really like this person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to have the ability to kind of like put that out there, relieve that stress, take something off your chest is
And
is,
furthermore,
is
have your partner
liberating.
be excited for you,
And
right?
you'll live longer.
Like, okay, you like
Shit.
that. Like, ooh, you like that. Good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I
So
want
you'll
you to be
learn-
happy. I want you to be excited. I want you to have that vitality in life together with me.
that part, and
Yeah.
you learn your partner even better that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
That
And-
level of authenticity.
That part. And the last thing, selflessness.
Yeah.
I know for sure from personal experience that I have restricted a lot of my own growth by being selfish.
Yeah.
I recognize that about myself. And I do know in certain situations when I have allowed myself to be selfless that it was a winning situation.
yeah.
But I haven't allowed myself to do that in my entire life.
And this
So I
journey
pick and
pushes you
do it.
to examine that.
That part.
Oh, quickly.
That would be a benefit. Once you reach that point,
Yeah, quickly.
that would be a benefit, right?
Yeah, no, it would be a benefit.
So-
yeah.
I'm advocating for this lifestyle.
Me too.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? For me, it's the two P's. It's a perfect partnership. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You can't do anything but win, from my perspective. And I've met people in the lifestyle that may not see the long-term effects of it, like they're doing it and they just take it one day at a time. But for the most part, the people that I've met in the lifestyle that I really gravitate towards, like they see the long-term benefits of it, and they're regular people still.
Regular people, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's
Yeah.
nothing freakish about them. They're not fucking unicorns in real life.
It's not orgies every day. It's not.
It's regular life.
Regular
you know
people.
What I'm saying? Regular life with an asterisk. How you say that word? Asterisk on it. You know what I'm saying? It's a win-win situation. I like life.
You can fight
No.
about the towel on the bathroom floor, but you ain't fighting about no bitch.
That part. That part. And we're going to finish on that note. So tell the people where they can find you guys. Thick City Enterprise. Say it again. Say it. How's it go? I got to get this shit right.
Go ahead, babes.
The Thick City Enterprise Lifestyle Network.
Woo!
We on Facebook, we on MeWe, we on Instagram. You
Yeah.
can reach us at thickcity860 at Gmail.
Okay.
If you're interested in our upcoming Keto trip to Jamaica next summer, get on it. We got 14 spots left. The deposits
I'm
are
going.
low. We're gonna have a great time.
Yes.
It's all inclusive.
I'm going to have a six-pack by then.
I'm working on it.
We got payment plans. It's affordable. It's doable. We out here trying to make dreams come true and people open
Yeah,
their minds.
absolutely.
you
And
know?
then Thick City on Facebook. And for MeWe, it's MeWe.com/join/Thick City.
Okay.
And then you take it from there. And then what
Instagram
else?
is Thick City Enterprise, or is it Thick City Enterprise? Yeah, I believe it's Thick City,
Thick City
Enterprise,
Enterprise
on Instagram.
on Instagram. Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's all spelled the right way. THICK.
Hyphen CIT.
No, there's no hyphen.
Well,
Oh, on MeWe there is.
on
The other
MeWe,
one's
it is the
there.
MeWe.com/join/TICK-CITY.
Gotcha.
All one word on Instagram.
All one word on Instagram, no hyphen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So people, find my people because listen,
We'll contact you. Get in contact with you. You know how to get in
We
contact
can
with
do
us.
that too. Yeah. Miss Sage, final words. How do you feel?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for the education. I'm very
No
intrigued
problem.
by everything you said.
Nice meeting you, Miss Sage.
Nice meeting you, both of you. It was lovely.
Absolutely.
See you in Jamaica.
Oh, you coming, huh?
Okay.
Try to turn out into
You know what I'm
next summer,
saying? That's
y'all.
cool with me. Listen, we got to make them and break them. I ain't mad at it.
Absolutely.
All right, so and y'all know where to find me, Mr._Bonehard on everything, MR_BONEHARD on everything. Our Facebook group, Sex, Love, and Hip Hop, or Kill City Radio. Oh, I'm sorry, hold on, let me get it right. Kill Talk Radio presents Sex, Love, and Hip Hop on Facebook. That's our Facebook group. www.kill-love.com. All right, I got some new merch that I'm launching this week too for some people. And we're going to get back to it. Next week, our conversation is, would you date a sex worker? So I got some people coming through. We're going to have that conversation because I believe that's a real thing too. All right, so thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to get back to real life.
Peace.
All right, we'll see y'all next week. Peace.